Hi guys and welcome to today's video. So I know that it's now midway through February, but I'm going to do my what I read in January video. This year I kind of want to make a lot more videos like focusing on books, as I am an English lit student and I'm about to like graduate. So my reading is going to be more centered towards what I want to read rather than what I have to read for uni. So I kind of want to do more book videos. So if you have any suggestions or ideas or videos you'd like to see from me about books, then just let me know. But let's get on into today's video. For this year I set myself the target of 50 Goodreads books, and so far I have read 8 books and it's currently the 9th of February, so I think we're going like pretty good. I read 7 of those books in January, so I'm going to tell you what I read. I've got my little table on my phone of what I've read. So the first book I read I don't have with me because I borrowed it from the library on my Kindle, but was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. One of my New Year's resolutions is to actually read Harry Potter this year, like all of them, because I've never actually read them before. I only watched them for the first time like a couple of years ago, but I don't know if you can see just kind of like up here, this blue thing. That thing is a book chart, and Harry Potter is one square, but you have to have read all of them to scratch it off. That is my focus. So the first book that I read this year was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is the second one. I read the first one on Christmas Day. Then the next book I do have, and it's this, which is The Trial of Lady Chatterley's Lover. This is for one of my modules this semester, and it's basically about Lady Chatterley's Lover. The book went on trial for obscenity, and it's basically just this woman, Sybille Bedford, kind of like took down what happened in the trial, and it's a really short book, but it's yeah, if you're interested in like trials and literature and like obscenity, then this is definitely an interesting read. It took me maybe like an hour and a half to read because it is only 80 pages, and also I love the cover. I don't know, it's just so pretty, like the pink and the gold and the white. But yeah, that was interesting if you're interested in like court cases. It was quite like an engaging book and an engaging account of what happened. Then to follow that, I read Lady Chatterley's Lover. I started reading this before I read the trial, but I was finding it really difficult to get through, so I just read the trial in between so that I could have like a book ticked off my list. This is by D.H. Lawrence. It's a classic. I'm not gonna lie, I said this in my reading vlog, which was my last video, that I really didn't enjoy this. I was expecting to. I was looking forward to this as a book. A lot of people read it in my A-level class, but it wasn't on my questions, so I didn't personally read it. But I was expecting it to be really interesting, and I just did not enjoy it. I found it very like tedious, very slow, very boring, and I didn't feel like the characters had much depth to them. I wouldn't call it an obscene book like they were trying to at the time when Penguin were republishing it. I think it was Penguin. It does seem like the plot is mainly driven by 2 characters having an affair and their sexual encounters. I personally didn't enjoy it. I just felt like the characters needed more depth. But I know that a lot of people really like this book, so if you like classics then maybe read this. But it was only 268 pages, but it took me hours and hours and hours to read. It was very slow, and also I don't know whether this is the same in all of copies of this book, but in my version chapters ran on like this. If you can see here, there wasn't a separate page, and that just really bugs me because it feels like you don't get a break in between chapters. Yeah, I personally didn't enjoy this, but now I know that I don't like his book, so I won't probably read another one. The next book was also for that same English module. It's about controversial books from the 20th and 21st century, so obviously a lot of them are going to be around the same themes. But the next one that I read was 50 Shades, which is the biggest book I've read so far this year. It's 514 pages. As you can see, it's quite hefty. Again, I probably wouldn't have picked this up if it weren't for the fact that we were reading it in class. I don't think that the characters are bad in this book. I feel like the characters have potential. I do, however, think that this is really poorly written, and it sounds like a 12-year-old has tried to write porno. But I think it has potential. But also, the issue I have with this is the beginning of a series and it left it on a cliffhanger, and I don't particularly want to read the other books, but I don't like being left on a cliffhanger. I kind of like to finish things, so I may have to read the other ones, but they're not on the top of my priority list at the moment. So the next book I read was not the whole of this, because this is a collection of plays by Lillian Hellman, but this again was for English. And I read the play The Children's Hour, which, funny enough, is right at the beginning of this book. And this was actually really good. It was about 2 women that were running a school, and then one of the kids is just really, really horrible and accuses them of something, and it's kind of about whether they can get their reputations back. I don't want to ruin the story for you, but I definitely think it is worth a read. I'd quite like to see if I can find like a film or something on YouTube of this as a, because it is a play, so obviously it's not meant to be read, it's meant to be watched. So yeah, I'm interested to know if, sorry, I'm filming in front of a big window and our houses are like terrace houses and I can see people opening their house in front of me. I feel awkward in case they look up here and see I'm filming. Gone. Yeah, I'd be interested to see this actually acted out rather than just reading it, but I did enjoy it just reading, which I feel is quite rare for a play, to like enjoy it even though you're simply reading it and not actually watching it as it's meant to be enjoyed. The next book I read in January was again on my Kindle, so I can't show you it, but it was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the third book in the Harry Potter series. Again, it was Harry Potter. I'm not enjoying them. I actually think I am enjoying them. I think that was the longest one that I'd read so far. I mean, I'm currently on the fourth one, or the fifth one? The fourth one. I'm on the fourth one, which just is really long. But yeah, I enjoyed that, and I feel like there's not much to say on Harry Potter. I feel like everyone in the world except me has read them. Yeah, as you can see, I am getting through the Harry Potters, so hopefully by the end of the year I'll have finished all of them. And hopefully sooner, like I'd like to have done all of them by the time I finish uni. Fingers crossed, maybe, hopefully. And the final book I read, I also can't show you because it was an audiobook that I borrowed from the library, and it was Siddhartha, which is again on my big like reading chart over here, which I'd never heard of before, but it's basically about, it's set in India, and it's this guy that just goes on a journey to like, I don't want to say find himself because that's like not even in enough depth of what it was about, but no, it was really interesting, and it was quite short as an audiobook as well. I think it was like 6 hours maybe, so I'm assuming the book itself is quite thin, but I don't think it's a book that I necessarily would have enjoyed reading, so I feel like it was good that I found it online as an audiobook. Anyway, that is everything I've read this month. If you've read any of those books, then let me know. If you'd like to keep up with what I'm reading, you can follow me on Goodreads as well. My account is linked down below. If you did like this video, please subscribe. Again, if you have any ideas for any videos you'd like to see from me, then please let me know and I will try my best to do those. I'm back at uni now and I'm kind of settled into my room, so hopefully I can get like a filming schedule. Yeah, I will see you in my next video.